we were talking about the Joker before we started recording.
Yeah.
And like legitimately, that movie had like it. I don't want to say it changed my life because I'm not like a white woman who saw like Little Women or something like that.
Yeah.
Where they like just ignore the Civil War that's going on there, but
Yeah.
like the Joker was just like, this is a world that I would thrive in. Like just that,
Yeah.
like as soon like the same thing with the Batman that had the Joker in it with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like I completely.
That complete chaos that
Just-
exists in someone's mind.
That's what I was made
Yeah.
for. Like when things get crazy, that's like calming for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just like when my brain's bouncing around all the goddamn time. So when
Yeah.
he's like, he's sitting there and he just like is, I mean, it's been out long enough, so we're not gonna spoil it. But when he shoots fucking De Niro like right through the face, I'm just like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even like.
Yeah.
The only one that I didn't get, and I know like the guy threw him under the bus, but when he stabbed that guy in the neck with the scissors or whatever, I was
What
like,
do you mean?
like in his apartment.
Yeah.
I was
Why
like-
don't you get that?
I don't, it was kind of out of left field.
I feel like that was the only justified murder.
Oh really?
Yeah. 'cause
I thought the
when
ones
you
on
com-
the ones on the train were fine, like because they were fucking with him. I thought that was perfectly fine. The De Niro one, like he made fun of him on national TV, so it was like one of those like, you find somebody who has wronged you on that level.
Yeah, but okay, I see where you're coming from. I do
Yeah.
see where you're coming from. I think that for me,
Mhm.
I see it a little bit differently. I think that it was. So first off, we can just put it out there right now. Phenomenal movie.
Right.
Everybody can agree. I
Right.
have actually not met anyone who did not like that movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And I don't
And-
like movies. Like I don't. Like I went
It
on.
takes a lot to hold my
Yeah,
attention
for
for
a
as
new
long
movie.
as that movie
For
was.
a new movie,
Yeah.
it's very hard. And
Yeah.
that movie, like that's the guy who made the fucking Hangover.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's crazy. But sorry, finish your point.
I just think that I don't know. I identified with it on a different level than you did, I think, and I'm sure that you're going to get more into that. For me, it was more about being more aware
Mhm.
of like the people around you and how something that's not a big deal to you can really affect people. You know what I mean? Not to go on like an anti-bullying thing because it's like significantly more mature than that. But you never know like the state of someone's mind.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's extremely important.
But see, that's what I got from that movie is like, I would by no means say that like I was raised by an insane woman who adopted me and then tried to peg it on like like Thomas Wayne or whatever. Like
Yeah.
by no means was that the story. But
Right.
like you kind of get like he lived this lie the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's been
Unbeknownst to him.
unbeknownst to him, and obviously like he had mental problems, like, and that's why he was in like that counseling and all that shit.
Right.
And then like to me it was like a real crazy like class struggle movie.
Yeah.
That was the angle I got off of it because I forget who I was texting about it, but like it was kind of part of like the Heath Ledger Joker like a little bit, and like even like the third Batman played with it a little bit. But like this one, it was just like front and center because he was like poor.
Yeah.
The Waynes like overlooked the city and he was like running for politics and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then like all of his shit gets cut, and then he's just like left on his own because he's poor living in this shithole, and he's like already crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just like he gets fired from his clown job, and it's so funny because I can just kind of like, what I think it's a good movie is like it's such a mirror on the world right now.
Yeah.
Where like I think that's why everybody likes it is because everybody one feels something from that movie, whether you identified with it, whether it scared you, whether it like made you worried about psychopaths just like hanging out everywhere.
Yeah.
Or like, but like it just hits your emotions really well, and it just gives that look like the coverage beforehand. I remember somebody finally was just like, "Do you want there to be a shooting at these movies?" Because remember what like the coverage
Yeah.
before was like, "This is gonna stir up people to kill
Yeah.
people," and it's like, did you want them to kill people? Because I know that'd be great news and you'd make a whole bunch of money. I kind of feel like that's what you want.
But why are you putting that into the?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, I could see where somebody is like, I want to be careful with it because I don't want to be like, it's justified just to go kill people who are picking on you, because at a certain point that's part of life. You like get better. Like if somebody points that out to you, you're like, yeah, do you know what? Maybe I should work on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the comedy thing, like you see so many people being at open mics and everything, and that's kind of like the cool angle to it is like, I've seen 100 of those guys that like go up on stage and like I've also had those moments where you're like, I'm fucking killing it right now. I don't care what's going on. I can't hear anything around me.
Yeah.
Then you get off stage and somebody's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And, it's just like, and you're just like, no, that was great. Like, this is what I've been living for.
Right.
And, like, so I get that angle of it, but, like, that's one of those things where you're just like, what I got from it is be nice to people. Because you don't know what they're going through. And, like, you don't have to just be, because we've talked about it, you don't have to be, like, nice to a fault. Like, you can, like, just be cordial. Like, like, when he was in that chick's house that he thought he was dating or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that could have gone so much worse. I was like, dude, the rest of them are fine, but do not kill this lady just because you're crazy, or, like, her daughter or something. And just because she was, like, nice to him.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of diffused him for a minute. And it was like, that's all he needed was somebody else to be like, hey, man, like, what's going on?
I don't know. It's kind of I think that the part that really stuck out to me and kind of like stayed with me for a couple of days after I saw this movie was that like throughout the whole like first half of the movie, I guess you could say, he like you already know he doesn't give a fuck about his job. He doesn't like being a clown.
Right.
He doesn't like people talking to him like shit. He doesn't like going to counseling. He doesn't like anything about his life, but the only thing that he has to like care for is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the little shred of humanity that's keeping him like as level-headed as he can be.
For sure.
Only to find out that all of it's a sham.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like his mom was insane, not even really his mom. Like it was a lot. It was a whole lot.
Well, that's like